Hello, everyone. Today, we bring a critical topic that is drawing the attention of financial experts worldwide, the imminent crisis in the United States real estate market, as warned by none other than Warren Buffett. In this video, we will delve into the details, discuss the implications of these concerns, and explore how this can affect not only the real estate market but also the overall economy. This is a subject that everyone should be aware of, and if you want to continue receiving valuable information on finance and economics, please subscribe to our channel and watch until the end because what we have to discuss is of great importance. Let's get started. 5. Warren Buffett is warning about a major storm in the U.S. real estate market due to a $1.4 trillion debt bubble. Warren Buffett, that famous investor, is kind of alerting us to a complicated situation in the United States. It turns out there's a massive $1.4 trillion debt bubble in their real estate market, and that's like a real danger. It's already starting to cause some problems, especially in retail stores and commercial offices, and banks are making risky loans. Now, with interest rates rising, there could be significant losses in the real estate market, with many people losing their homes and buildings losing value. Buffett is sort of sounding a warning for us to understand how this situation could be complicated, not just for the US but for the whole world. 4. The consequences of this bubble are already starting to appear, with problems in the commercial property market and bad loans in American banks. Hey, folks, let's simplify this. Imagine that the real estate market is like an overinflated balloon. When a balloon gets too full, it starts to crack, right? That's kind of what's happening in the US. Commercial buildings, like offices and stores, have fewer people working there, and prices are dropping because many people are working from home. And then, banks have made some risky loans, like giving money to those who shouldn't have it. Now, with interest rates rising, this situation is getting even more complicated. Banks are under pressure, and many people may struggle to repay their loans. This could disrupt the banking system and the overall economy. So, it's a good idea to keep an eye on this story so we're not caught off guard. 3. The commercial real estate market, especially with the increase in interest rates, is at risk of significant losses, which could lead to potential foreclosures and property devaluation. Let's simplify the story of interest rates in the commercial real estate market. Here's the deal. Imagine you have a loan that doesn't have a fixed interest rate, meaning the interest rate can change over time. Now, with interest rates rising, this could be a problem for those with loans tied to these variable rates. The payments become more expensive, and many people may have trouble paying. When people can't pay their loans, it can lead to issues like foreclosure, which is when the bank takes the property. This can cause property values to drop, creating a complicated cycle. And that's not good for the banks or the economy as a whole. So, it's important to stay informed about interest rates in the real estate market. 2. Non-recourse loans in the commercial real estate market allow property owners to walk away from loans if the property's value falls below the loan amount. And hey, folks, let's simplify the issue of loans in the commercial real estate market. Look, there's something called non-recourse loans that's kind of different. Imagine you have a house and you take out a loan to buy it, but then things go south, and the value of the house drops significantly, well below what you owe to the bank. With these non-recourse loans, you can kind of walk away from the house and don't have to pay the difference to the bank. But the problem is, then the bank is left with the mess because the house is worth less than the money they lent. And that's a problem, especially if many people start doing this at the same time. It can leave the market full of empty houses and affect the local economy and even the entire country. So, it's a situation that deserves careful attention, especially when interest rates are rising. 1. Small regional and community banks made most of the commercial real estate loans, and they are at risk, which could have broader economic consequences. Let's talk about the role of smaller banks in this. You know, those regional and community banks are kind of like heroes to small businesses and local communities. They help with loans to buy commercial properties, which is quite important. But here's the catch, These banks have a lot of these loans in their portfolios, and that creates a significant risk. If many people can't repay these loans, these banks can be seriously affected, and in some areas, they might even go bankrupt. And that's a big problem because these banks are the ones that help small businesses and local entrepreneurs the most. If they run into trouble, it can become more challenging to get credit to make businesses grow. This affects economic growth, employment, and even the vibe of local communities. Plus, if many smaller banks face issues, it can have a ripple effect on the entire financial system. In other words, it's a situation that deserves our attention, and that brings us to the end of this important video about the impending crisis in the United States real estate market. I hope you have enjoyed it and gained valuable insights. If you like this content and want to continue receiving high-quality financial information and analysis, please subscribe to our channel. Also, leave a like if you found this video informative. And don't forget to leave a comment sharing your opinions and questions. Your interaction is crucial to us. Until next time.